individual whose balance sheet reads perfectly assets and zero liabilities. To put it in your language, individuals are mixed bags. So on certain issues, you will find that you agree with Gandhi. On certain issues, you will never be able to agree with Gandhi. I refuse to call him Mahatma. I've never called him Mahatma. I will not call him Mahatma. For me, he's just Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. I don't think you should deify someone so much. If Sri Rama can be criticized, why should Gandhi not be criticized? Is Gandhi bigger than Rama, who he worshipped? He's not. And he was a politician, not a saint. He was a politician, not a saint. Remember that. Keep telling yourself that each time you're tempted to worship a politician, regardless of whoever he is or she is. I mean, from a land of Dravid Nadu which speaks of rationality and which was falling at the feet of politicians, I mean, it's surprising that they speak of rationality. They will not fall at the feet of gods, but they'll fall at the feet of politicians. That is the hypocrisy of Dravidianism. Coming to your question, you have to realize that he had his notions of dharma which were fairly clear in certain respects. However, the problematic part of his history is his attitude towards the riots. And you don't have to go to the riots of, let's say, during the partition of 1946-47, the direct action day riots, nothing. You just read his reactions to the Mopla riots of 1921. And this gentleman was giving the same advice to the Jews as he was giving to the Hindus. He was asking the Jews to walk into the gas chambers. He was asking the Hindus to go and die. He said this as much in both places. I think he needed professional help at some stage. Simply because someone who is asking a community to surrender itself to mass slaughter is not speaking from a position of responsibility at the very least. Whether he's speaking from a position of sanity or not, I leave it to your best judgment. If I decide to say I will sacrifice my life in the interest of peace, that's a decision that I take with respect to me. The consequences are for me alone to face. I have no right to ask a community to sacrifice itself at the altar of peace. Community's first right is to protect itself and to preserve itself, not to surrender itself at the altar of this mythical unity. So therefore, there are some serious problems. So in the context of Gandhi versus Jinnah, I would say there is a problem with his assessment of the situation. In the context of Gandhi versus Ambedkar, you will be surprised that he gave fantastic responses to some of Ambedkar's positions. So it's a question of issue and it's a question of who he was being pitted against. So I believe that he is a mixed bag, but the net result is perhaps he has induced a certain degree of servility and docility in the community, which is the serious problem. The Hindu Kshatra spirit should have been revived.